but I know I'm not super cool and trendy, but I don't care because you know
So
what?
true,
When I wake
too.
up in the morning, I've got one decision to make.
What
Black?
color?
Black or gray? Black or white? Hey, look, life is not easy. Anything good worth having isn't easy, but add to that the complexity of being an entrepreneur, being married, having children. We have done a lot of things right. We made a few $1 million. We probably lost a few $1 million. We made some mistakes along the way, but one thing that we are really good at is relationships.
That's right. We have been together for almost 2 decades.
And we've been through hell and back together.
Yeah, we have. And we used to think that we were the only ones like us out there.
But especially in our entrepreneurial ventures, we started meeting other ride or die couples that were going through the exact same things that we were going through. And they kept coming to us talking about advice and looking for solutions and really ways to help their relationship thrive. So we just knew there had to be a tribe of us out there. There's no way we could be the only ones out there.
We are getting real and raw, guys.
That's what he said.
Oh my God, babe. From dating to marriage to kids and even sex.
Even how to fight the right way.
We're going to be committed to being open and honest with you because we believe in your relationship too. Welcome to the Ride or Die podcast. Hey guys, what's going on?
What's
Welcome to
up?
the podcast this week.
Today's topic is
How
The
to
best-
Get back on track.
the
Oh,
best accountability partner. Wait for it. Wait for it.
We're not talking about me this whole podcast, okay? That's not very nice. We got to talk to everybody. We're going to
So-
talk about how to get back on track. I think it's important. That's an important topic.
We have just had a little bit of a lull since Sam went out of town.
I was off my game for 1 week.
Mm.
And then I was
You were
mostly
partially
on my
on your
game last
game.
week, mostly.
Mhm.
But that is no excuse for your actions, buddy. So
Mhm.
don't put me in that same box as you.
Look,
You straight up sucked for the last 2 weeks.
I took advantage of the fact that you were gone and I could sleep in. I only had one child to get ready in the morning instead of 2.
I know, it's beautiful.
So
You did have the child that wakes up early. I had the child that sleeps in, and she didn't because I thought I was going to get to sleep in
uh-huh.
because Peyton likes to sleep in. So I thought I was going to have one morning where I could sleep in. Nope. She was like, I'm excited. Let's go. So anyway,
Have you ever had a time where look, we're
We
about in
are-
the third we're about in the third month, right, of the year. The first quarter is about to end. So all those New Year's resolutions that people set, this is usually about the time that they've already fallen off and now feel really
halfway
guilty.
through March, yep.
Or they're starting to get a little shaky and we just want to pump a little extra life and
Kick you in the ass.
inspiration to help kind of reset that clock so you can go into the second quarter just as strong as you started the new year.
Yeah. So I think the way to start this is to just get going, which is tip number 1. I mean, you fall off track. You need to get back on. Do you continue to do what you're doing that's keeping you off track? Or do you change your habits and you start to get back on track? Like, right? It sounds simple. Sounds a lot simpler than it is. I totally get it. Like, I can't tell you how many times we've fallen off track one way or another, whether it's our health or sometimes we fall off track in our business. Sometimes we get a little bit lazier in our marriage and the amount of work we put into it. Sometimes with the kids, we just need a break. And the best way to get back on track is to just get focused and get back on it.
It's not how many times you fall off track.
Oh
It's
my
how
gosh.
quickly you get back on.
I just said that to Max about the skateboard. He wants to ride the skateboard now, so he's practicing. I keep falling. I yelled from the kitchen. It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get back up. And then I just felt like the cheesiest mom ever. But he's getting really good. And as you build that confidence and get that habit going again, you're going to feel really good too. So don't feel like just because you're down does not mean you're down forever. But you got to get your mind right there and tell yourself like, okay, it's time to get going. It's time to do this. Let's go. And like, how bad do you really want it? I think that's a big question to ask yourself with getting started. Like, if you're not getting started, why? What is holding you back? What is it holding you back? Maybe your goal's not big enough, or maybe you just don't want it bad enough.
What's our goal? What's our
You're very like non-conversational today.
what's
This
our
is going to be a real
what's
fun,
our goal? What's
fun
our goal
podcast.
for our accountability with our health?
Okay, so let's get into let's be specific, which is number 2, because you can just put that's like a blanket statement. What are you doing? Well, I want to get healthier. I want to lose some weight, but it's not specific enough. So a lot of people fall off track when they just say like, oh, I want to work out. I'm going to start exercising, but then they don't like get down in the nitty gritty and get a little bit more
Is
specific.
it 3 days a week? Is it 4 days a week? Is it a half-hour workout? Is it an hour workout?
So I want to work out 4 to 5 days a week. 5 is kind of pushing it because I'm digging this like break that we're taking on Wednesday right now. The likelihood that I'm going to get back in the gym on the weekend, it's not like non-existent, but more weeks than not, it's not going to happen. So I'd rather just say 4.
It's like once every 6 months we'll get in on the weekend.
Yeah, but we go do active stuff on the weekends with
I
the
know.
kids, which is like not a workout, but it is. I mean, depending on what we do. We have not been as good because of the weather and stuff, but as it gets warmer and stuff, we do like to go out and do more active things. And yes, you can exercise with your kids on the weekends. We're talking about getting bikes and strapping them on the back and riding around with them. I mean, like I know some people that go rollerblading. I mean, that's some like physical activity that you can do on the weekend that is fun and doesn't really feel like exercise. Going to concerts like we're doing today. You know, I'm going to be dancing for hours. I know it's not really exercising, but I will be dancing my butt off.
So be specific with the goal. Be specific with the actions that you're going to take.
So how many days? What do you want to look like if this is exercise? Like, why are you doing this? It's important to know why you're doing it. And what are you going to be eating? What type of stuff are you going to be putting into your body? I mean, we know when we want to get healthy and lose weight and tone up, like we can't be eating pizza all the time. So we get really specific on, you know, and we've been a little bit bad about this one, but when we're really going hardcore, we will even say like, we're only eating out 1 time a week. That is our cheat meal. Like we're not as hardcore as we used to be with the kids and stuff now, but there was a time that it would be like, we're only eating out once. That's our pasta meal. And remember that time when you were like he would do carb overload. It was so gross. And meanwhile,
no carbs all week and then a carb feast.
Yeah, 1 carb feast. And he would literally we would sit somewhere for 2 hours and he would just keep eating pasta and eating pasta and eating pasta and eating pasta. Meanwhile, poor little me, I'm supposed to still stay low carb. So like I have this like little portion of pasta and I'd be like, meh. But we were getting to our goals. We were really serious about it. So got to be super specific.
I would say, as you're making those commitments, whether it's working out a certain number of times or a certain amount of time or what have you, I would say a couple of tips. 1, you know how much we love the Beachbody On Demand. It's $10 a month. You can watch it on any device, or we have it on our Apple TV. It's amazing. Because then you just say, I'm just going to do this program, and you just press play. You don't have to think about anything. Number 2 is I would err on the side of less. I'd rather set the bar a little lower and never feel guilty that I missed it.
Underachiever.
I do. Whatever. It probably goes against what most people say. But if we're like, I want to work out 3 to 4 days a week, I'm just going to say I'm committing to working out 3 days a week. I'll just say 3. Because then if I get in that 4th, I feel like I'm on a roll and I'm overachieving, as opposed to saying, I'm going to work out 5 days a week and then I only work out 4 or 3 and I feel like I'm always missing the bar.
Well, you just have to have realistic expectations. You know, it's like you can't go, I'm going to work out 8 days a week because there aren't 8 days in a week. So like there is a fluff factor you have to be careful not to do. I do think it is cool. Like if you're kind of teetering on like, you know, I want to do 3 or 4 days, maybe start with 3 and then go after 30 days, I'm moving to 4 and just like have that, like number 3 is plan it out. You have to have your implementation strategy. You have to know what you're going to be doing. We know, like I just sat down the other day and I started looking at the calendar and thinking about all the things we have coming up and basically like how many days until certain things we have, or what other things might get in the way that may distract me from my goal. And okay, instead of it being a distraction, how can I do it all but be healthy during the process? Not, you know, just be like having social extra drinks for the next 2-3 months when I'm trying to hit these health targets, because it'll set me back, right? It'll take me that much longer. That's why I have, slowly been losing weight, because I don't have some like hard cutoff. However, when you're planning things out and looking at the calendar, you can actually see exactly what you have going on.
We have this company coming into town. We have this concert we're going to go to. We have
this
cruise,
trip coming
right?
up,
So
whatever it is.
We're skipping, splurging this weekend because we know in 2 weekends,
exactly,
people are going to be in town and there won't be any pressure to not fall off track or, be more flexible with our eating. And
let's hit on this for a minute though, because I think there is a degree that when you are a little busier, when you have a lot of stuff going on and you can't just wipe your calendar clean, it can be super easy to just stay off track. Like, you have to be committed enough in your mind to make those decisions and then make them right. Like, if you have 8 social events going on in a 2-month period and you're trying to get healthy, you can't go eat like crap at every single one or drink at every single one and indulge at every single one, because you won't hit your goals. So what's more important? Indulging or socializing, but responsibly, right? And then hitting those targets. It's kind of like what you were saying, but just really committing and being diligent on it is really important and very hard. So let's talk about that. Sometimes it's okay to just eliminate distractions, which is step number 4, right? I can't tell you how many times when I really, really need to focus, I just tell Brandon, like, we're going in hermit mode. I don't care what you say. Like, I kind of get a little hard on it. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, I have to go in hermit mode and I need you to do it too. Like, you can't be out gallivanting around having fun and whatever. And then like, I'm stuck at home trying to hit these goals. Like, this is what we got to do. This is where we're going. I need your help to get there, which is number 5, have an accountability partner. But eliminate distractions. Sometimes it might be people. I know there's times and periods in our life, like when we lived in Vegas is a really good example. In Vegas, we had so much fun living there. It was so easy to go out. There's so much to do. It was so easy to just be out all the time. But at a certain point when we need to stop and focus on business and be clear-headed in the mornings and like really get some stuff done, we had to eliminate those distractions, not go out as much, like really plan hard to buckle down and like commit to those things. Maybe find some other people, and this is with accountability again, find some other people that maybe have the same goals as you, or just let's say we were going out all the time. We don't want to go out as much, but we have friends that go out all the time. We have friends that like to stay home all the time. Well, when we need to buckle down, we'll probably veer more towards the friends that like to stay home more, because we can still hang out but be more responsible than going out all the time, so we can put our focus on what is the priority at that time and stay on track.
I'll add to that. Eliminating distractions, but also eliminating temptations. It's as simple as, you've got a cookie fetish like I do. You get rid of the cookies, right? You know this. You want to get rid of the sugar.
You eat them all before we start our stuff.
Take the soda out of the house, things like that.
Yeah, that is like such a weak spot for you. If it, like, I could have a candy bar in the house for 3, 4, 11 weeks.
It's on my mind. I know, it's like I have a radar.
And I know it's there, but like, I just want it for like a one day. Like, if I'm working really hard for a couple weeks. Brandon's like, we'll just buy another candy bar. It's in the house and I want to eat it. And I'm like, no, I just want to know that it's there. I literally just, like, I've been having pretty good not super good, but pretty good last few days. So like, I had this one little piece of a Twix bar last night. Let me tell you, I've been hiding this thing for like 2 weeks because I knew if it was in the cabinet and it was in the pantry, Brandon would have eaten the whole damn thing by now. So I just had it hidden. It popped out last night. He's like, where's that been? Mm-hmm.
That's how I talk at night.
That is.
Like,
where's that candy bar been? That is how you sound when you're all sleepy.
Let's
talk about accountability.
What else do you got?
Accountability. This is like our biggest thing. Obviously, we've had each other for the last 18 years. This is my number one in everything, but certainly my number one accountability partner. What a powerful tool to have. So let's hit on accountability. And okay, this is where I struggle doing this with other people, although we are doing our workout accountability with friends of ours right now that have similar wanting healthier lifestyle goals. And it's great because none of us, like, we all have our days where we kind of fall off. We're probably a little bit of a bad influence on each other if like we're having the off week that they're not, or vice versa. But all in all, we're doing a really good job just keeping up since November, December, January, February. We're going in our 5th month now that we've just been keeping in touch about health goals, and we're all starting to see these changes. But what do we not look for in accountability partner? I'm going to ask you, because I think this is important. You have been in business. You've been with me for a really long time. You've been in business. We have like tried to do things before, and then they fall out because we have really shitty accountability partners on those things. So like, what is it not to look for, and what do you look for in an accountability partner?
I'm going to be too simple with my response, I know, but
Well, maybe not.
or
I'll just blab after you.
You are the best accountability partner. And the reason is because I have the same frustration. It's not that the people are bad accountability partners. It's just the recipe is not as good as our recipe. They, like, whose opinion do you value more? Who knows you more than anybody? Who knows your bullshit and your truth more than anybody? It should be your spouse.
This lady.
Right? So I can easily make excuses or leave out information, or even if someone calls me out and they're not my wife, unfortunately, like, it just doesn't hold as much weight. You know what I mean? Like, if we had a situation and I was like, I am working out Saturday, and then like a family member dropped by, I'm going to be like, it ain't that important. Like, I haven't seen this family member in a while. I'm going to take the extra time with the family member instead of doing the workout. And like, a friend could be like, oh, you know, like, give me a hard time, bust my balls. Like, that stuff doesn't get to me.
Balls?
That stuff has never like really gotten to me. If like a buddy of mine is like busting my balls, like, it doesn't bother me.
You just said balls again.
But if Sam was like, you know, I don't know, hey, you know, you could have squeezed it in here and done both and not affected this, or like, she just knows me better, and her opinion and her
well, how about last week? Oh, go ahead, continue.
It holds more weight. So I also think I'm a pretty damn disciplined and consistent person.
He's a freaking machine.
So most people, even high performers that I know, like, aren't used to waking up early, like as early as I do, and, you know, doing this work, hitting the family goals, and, you know, the business stuff, and like juggling it all. Like, I just take away my sleep, and
when you have a very patient,
figure it out.
I'll just toot my own horn. You also have a very patient, understanding, ride or die, got your back wife. I mean, if I wasn't as understanding about certain situations, or, I mean, you go pretty hard from 4 a.m. to like, I would say even days when you come home at 6, like, or 5, I'm fully expecting you to be on family mode. And when you're not, like, you kind of get side eye, like, come on, it's only like 2 hours, 3 hours before the kids are in bed. We can focus on family, but you go hard. And sometimes you need to take that time in the evening, and, you know, having that understanding and stuff as an accountability partner. It's not going to be like perfect. I think this is an important point. Like, it's not going to be perfect every second of the day. Like, we do set very strict boundaries and guidelines within our home. And there is a portion of the evening that we really, no matter how, sometimes the kids come home with such a crappy, like, they're just ready to end the day because they're exhausted attitude. And we still like want to make sure that we're on as parents. And it's not going to be perfect every day. There's going to be days that, you know, there is a call that comes in for a lead that, you know, is going to take a little bit more priority because the kids got attention the last 3-4 days. So it's like, okay, you got to be a little busy this evening. And even with your accountability partner, you have to have somebody that you trust enough that's going to keep you accountable, but like flex and not be like, you know, your Nazi accountability partner. Brandon, sometimes I can tell when he's tired, or I can tell when he's having Like last week, I was not on his ass at all that he like did not work out. I think, what did you get, 1 workout in last week?
Yeah.
Which is not working out for you. Like you might as well have just slept in all week. But he did get 1, but I did not skip. He keeps thinking I didn't work out because we were not physically in the gym together. But I just keep reminding him that I actually did a few days last week. It was at least 2 days more than you, right? But at the same time, I wasn't on him like, why didn't you go in the gym? You need to go. Hey, it's 8 o'clock at night. I don't care. Get in there. Like, I can see it. I can tell he just...
Especially when it's your spouse, because then it comes across as nagging. Like your friend accountability partner could be like on you and there wouldn't be as much emotion around it. But if your spouse is the one that's like catching you doing stuff wrong, you know how much we talk about the importance of catching them doing things right, not wrong. It can become like very like cynical and a lot of animosity, and so you've got to.
It can be a little bit of a negative impact.
That's where the team comes in. It's not like I'm accountable to you for my stuff and you're accountable for your stuff. No, it's like as a team, we're trying to accomplish these goals. So keeping that mindset, you wouldn't cut down your team member because they fell off. You'd be like, hey babe, do I need to take the kids to school tomorrow morning? Hey, let me get the lunches ready. Or you know what? As soon as you get home, you jump in the gym while I cook dinner, or I'll do the baths, or like something so that you're like helping them get it in, even though, you know, they missed it in the morning or whatever. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You work as a team.
Yeah. And I'm going to add a bonus one in there. We only had 5 originally, but then while you were talking that last little bit, I was thinking like, oh yeah, you need to have a goal and it needs to be fun or you're not going to want to keep up with these things. We're talking about the exercise stuff a lot today, but we can talk about this with like business too. With our business, we go through, like, we're pretty much busy all the time. We're entrepreneurs. We could easily like never take vacations. Any entrepreneur will get that. It's not really even a joke. It's kind of laughable. Like some people do take vacations and yada, 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 but many people for many years will not take them, or we'll take trips, but we tend to take shorter ones. Like we just can't, we can.
Or they're like work vacations.
We used to not be able to. We could take off 2 weeks if we wanted to, but like there's something in us that like, we mentally can't do it. We mentally can't shut off for 2 weeks. It's just in there. But if we can make our goals like fun, maybe we need to push a little harder. Like we push a little harder during the week so that we have a little bit more flexibility a couple times a month to take a day on a Friday. Instead of getting babysitters Friday night, we can just do it while the kids are at school. Go out during the day instead of when it's dark out. Like we like to do those things. So we like to set these goals and have fun along the way. Exercising to me is a drag. I get into it and then I kind of become obsessed with it, but it's never fun for me. I don't think it's fun. So I have to find ways to find exercising fun. And like I'm now that we've been doing this for a few months, I kind of like do get that itch in the morning to work out. Like this morning we did our workout, and before Brandon could even say anything, I turned on another one and we did a double workout back to back. Why? Because I'm starting to get that little bit of itch, or I just know it's just another, 25, 30 minutes. Like I feel good. I feel like I can push. It was murder. It was brutal, but I pushed play anyway and we did it. But why? Well, because we have a vacation coming up and I want to look good. And I have this goal and this vision in my mind of, the least I want to look like is this, and the best I want to look like is this. And it ain't what I look like right now. So if I'm not taking the actions and finding things fun, like for me this morning, I wanted, like, it was like almost like death, thinking of like, oh, I'm just going to hit play, but actually turning it on and seeing your face was kind of fun. So that made it a little better for me. And afterwards I felt really good that we just did it. But I know that we have a goal coming up. I know that we're going to have a lot of fun on our trip. And I don't want to feel like I have to watch what I'm eating for a week while we're gone. I want to just go have a fun time. So if you could find ways to take your goals and make them fun along the way, it really makes that whole process of not falling off track so much easier. You're not like the fun guy, no offense, but you're more of you're the serious side of our relationship. See, like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I do this face more than you, but I do smile and laugh a lot more too.
Life is pretty serious.
Life is pretty serious, but I am always looking for ways to just have fun. That,
that's why I got you.
make me be serious like 95% of the time. And 5% we squeeze in some fun.
Quit lying.
Oh, that's totally the truth. But that's okay. I like to take the 5% and turn it into like 25%. I look for ways to make things fun because Brandon is a little bit more of a machine. He just goes, we need to get it done. It has to get done. He's a little bit more systems and logical. So he's like, needs to get done, gonna do it. Needs to get done, gonna do it. I'm like, I need a reason. I need a why. I need to enjoy it. I need to find the thrill in it. Or quite frankly, why would I want to do it? Like, I'm not living life to just be a machine. So it's a little different. You get the joy out of being diligent, seeing the reward. I need to almost like taste that reward along the way, and then it motivates me to get to the end goal. So it's kind of like to each your own and know the way you are. We balance each other out. Usually when this is weird because this is the first time, and I'll stop rambling after this. This is the first time we've ever done a workout challenge where Brandon said, can we not go super hard with everything for 60, 90 days like we have done in the past, where that's actually what I'm used to seeing the results in working out. And I'm seeing results. It's just a slower process this way. It's not as
slower,
fast
but
as I want to see things.
It's more likely to stick.
It has been more fun. That's for sure. I mean, let's see, we're 5 months in, so I would, be 120 pounds by now if we just kept going and was really hard, and I would starting to be ease off right now, but I can think of all these things along the way that I would not have done. I would have stayed home and buckled down and not have done if we weren't trying to find the balance. And then again, it's just like every time we go out to eat, probably for the last month, I don't know if you've noticed, or 2 months actually, I would say is more accurate. I don't really order the really crappy things off the menu. I've been looking for cleaner dishes, not going crazy. Like we used to go to dinner and be like, I'd like a grilled piece of chicken. This is more Brandon.
No seasoning, no salt.
No seasoning.
Green beans, no butter.
Spinach, light oil. And nothing else on the plate. Or I will send it back to the kitchen. Now we're like, we'll just get like salmon, or we'll get fish, get some asparagus on the side. Hopefully they don't oil it up too much, but if they do, like, whatever. It's still vegetables going in our body. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, let me just throw this last thing in there. I think
we have another one?
Important to, I will admit that I have struggled with decisiveness my whole life. I think it's part of the left brain, very logical, systematic part of me that's like, well, there's this option and this option and this option, and if we do this, then this could happen, and if we do this, like,
option
overwhelm. I think too much, and the more success you have, the more money you have, the more options you have, which sounds great in theory, but it actually means more damn decisions you have to make. Seriously. If you're broke and you go out to eat and you can only afford, a $10 plate or less, your options are limited. It makes it very easy to pick the freaking chicken breast or the cheeseburger. Like, everything else is probably too expensive. Can't afford the steak, can't afford the fish, can't afford the lobster. Options are a blessing and a curse. And when you're embarking on a goal, a path, whatever, what was the actual topic here? Is it
falling off track?
Oh, falling off track. So it could be falling off track in business. It could be falling off track in health, home, whatever. Think of a way to set up your life to remove not just distractions like she was talking about, but limit your decisions, right? Like keep the things food-wise stocked in the house so you don't have 10 different snacks to choose from. Because if you have 10 different snacks to choose from, I guarantee you're probably going to snack every day or multiple times a day. If you got 2 snacks, well, you might snack a couple times, and then you're going to be like, I'm kind of bored with that snack, and you just skip a snack, So having less options is a good thing. So whether it's the food or we remove the options of, we don't have to make a decision on traveling. So if Sam's like, hey, we're buckling down, like we're not gonna spend the time, money, and like recovering from travel for the next 3 months, I get an email in my inbox someone invited me to this event, or, oh, this conference is coming up. During that time, I don't have to say, hey, can we go to this? Are we going to be able to squeeze this in? How much is this? Like, I don't even have to think. The decision's already been made, I guess is my point. So I think decisions take time. They take me a lot of time if you're indecisive. But they also they just take energy. So, you know, I'm a freaking boring guy. I know it, okay? My style is fairly boring. I have Under Armour. I have like 5 black Under Armour polos. If I could just wear, you know, like Steve Jobs, if I just wear a black shirt and my Hurley shorts or jeans every day, I would. 1, because they're comfortable. 2, because I could go to the golf course, a meeting, or jump in the pool with the same outfit. But I know I'm not super cool and trendy, but I don't care, because you know
So
what?
true,
When I
too.
wake up in the morning, I've got one decision to make.
What
Black?
color?
Black or gray, black or white. Like, that's how I like. Why do I like chicken, rice, and green beans? Well, because I don't have to think. I got like 2 go-to meals, and when you're not home and I don't, you know, the kids are easy to feed. It's like, am I gonna have this or this? Like, I don't want to waste mental energy on decisions, because I want to save that energy for like the important decisions. But if you've had to make 20 decisions before 9 a.m., you start getting late. So that's all I got to say about decisions. Try to set yourself up to succeed and make less decisions.
I dig it.
Awesome. Anything before we close?
Is that why
Do you
I
wanna
make
update
so
them?
many decisions?
Yeah. Take that responsibility.
I don't know
off
if I
me.
want to update them. It depends on what it is.
On Peyton's ears.
Listen to me. It depends on what it is. Peyton's ears. Oh my
No.
gosh. Sure.
Our little 5-year-old just got her ears pierced. I don't know. I mean,
Quick little
it's not a big
story.
deal to you, but it was
So,
adorable.
well, when she turned 5, she told me that she wanted to get her ears pierced. And I said, okay. And then I did start to warn her, like, it does hurt. I don't want to fluff it. Like with shots and stuff, I'll be like, oh, it's not that bad and stuff, because it really isn't. It's like a millisecond, but I know ear piercing does hurt. And I wanted to be honest with her that it was going to hurt, but that it was temporary and that it was okay. And she was like, I think I'll just wait till I'm 6. And I'm like, okay, we'll wait till you're 6. So while we were out in Austin, she just went from 5 to 15 and decided she was a big girl now and she wanted to get her ears pierced. But there's a really good tattoo shop in that area that did children's, and like it was not as like tattoo shopish. So I was like, all right, let's take her. But you actually needed a birth certificate. We're going to come home and just surprise you with it, because I figured you were still okay with it. But you needed a birth certificate.
While you're there, you might as well have done a nose ring.
Peyton's? Oh my gosh, could you imagine? So we come home, and so for the last few weeks since we've been back from our trip in Austin, she's like tinkered back and forth about doing it or not. And I've been telling her, like, once you make the decision, you need to commit. Like, when you tell me you are ready to do it, then we will do it. And so for the last like half of a week, every day, she's like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And I'm not ready now. I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? Now I see a few YouTube videos and decide I could pierce her ears. I don't need to, because there wasn't really a tattoo shop in the area that looked like a place that I really want to take a 5-year-old in right now. It looked more adultish. So I didn't want to take her in. I didn't want her to see people getting tattoos done or any of that jazz. And I also didn't want to take her to like one of those mall kiosks or whatever, because I've just heard some nasty stories about how unsanitized their stuff is. And so, and really the reality is it's some like $10 an hour person that probably doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And they just know,
Teenager.
I got to go pierce an ear, and I stick the gun in and I click the gun, and then they have an earring. And I just thought, like, nobody, I don't know. It's me needing to have too much control over the situation, saying nobody's going to have more, care about Peyton's ears than I will. So I'll just watch a few YouTube videos and I'll do it. I'm already thinking I'm going to be the parent that has to rip these teeth out of the kids' heads when they get too loose and stuff. And I can do this. So I saw some stuff. I went and got the stuff to do it. And she tells me yesterday she's ready to get it done. Now, I'm getting nervous that I'm going to screw up my kids' ears. Like, what if I don't pierce it right? What if I angle it the wrong way? What if she freaking moves while I'm doing it? What if she cries? Like, all these things are running through my head. So I am putting on like the bravest face ever. But inside, I'm like not shaking, but I'm just getting like, okay, I can do this. I could do this. And like, she's like, and I'm like, you have to sit still. So I had this little pep talk with her. And I was like, look, this is talking about follow through, okay? Not falling off track, but like following through to a goal. You say you want to do this, and I'm fine. We can get this done. But you cannot quit halfway through. You cannot get one earring done and then tell me you don't want to do the other one. So once you commit and you tell me to do it, and I do one, we're doing the other one. Because I knew the first one was going to make her tell me she didn't want to do it. I knew she was going to cry. I just knew it. And I was not trying to program her that she was going. So I wasn't telling her, like, you're going to cry. And I was like, you're going to be fine. We're going to do it quick. But you get one done, you're getting two done. And so she's like, oh, yeah. Okay, so we do the first one. She actually moves while I'm doing it. So the earring went through, but the back didn't connect to it. Right. So I'm like, but it's straight. It looks great. But she's crying because she wasn't ready for that. So she's like, I don't want to do it. And she's freaking out. And so I'm like, okay, we could take a break. But I did tell you, we got to do this. We're getting this done. So take a break. I'll give you a hug. Let's wipe those tears. Let's talk about it for a minute. The second one was adorable. So we're sitting there and she's like, I'm like, let me just get it lined up. And I get it up. She's like, no, don't do it yet. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just lining it up. Now I'm getting super nervous because the first one, the earring back didn't go in. Now I'm like, what if the second one doesn't? I don't want to squeeze her ear too hard. And now all these things are going through my head of like, I'm going to F up my kid's ear. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be fine. So I line it up and she was like, okay, tell me when you're ready, and then I'll tell you when I'm ready. And she goes, no, never mind. I'm ready. Go. And like, she's like this. She's like, go. I'm like, you gonna stay still? She's like, I'm gonna stay still. Go ahead, mommy. And so I did it, and we did it. She didn't cry the second time. She actually started laughing a little that she didn't cry. We got the other back in right afterwards, because I didn't want it to just fall out from dangling there without an earring back. So we got it all done. She was super proud of herself. Now she's kind of like walking around with this strut because, she's got her new earrings and she feels so pretty. And like she achieved this big goal of hers to get her ears pierced and is finally done. So she conquered that fear. Super proud of her. The holy man, we were told a long time ago not to pierce her ears as a baby. A doctor actually said, why take the risk that the earrings fall out and your baby chokes on them? It's just a dumb risk. Why would you take it if you don't have to? Wait till your child's old enough. When she tells you she wants to get it done, get it done. So I thought, well, that's logical enough, sure. And I really didn't think at the time when she was, 3 months old that I could bear to hear my little angel crying from getting them done. So we waited.
She's crying anyway.
She did cry. A little bit she cried. But she did not cry during the second one. She was a lot stronger. And I think that's like a whole podcast in itself, right? And we might have to just hit on that. Like,
sure.
Things that I was telling Max this morning with the skateboard again, like they're not always easy at first. Things just don't come easily.
You love how kids just remind you of
the
stuff,
simplest little concepts,
that you
right?
should be telling yourself anyway.
But the more you do it, the easier things become. And that was the same situation with Peyton. It was like the first one was like hell to her. She like totally didn't want to do the second earring. And as soon as she just, breathed and let it go and knew like, well, you almost have to talk about accountability, right? I told her, hey, I said if we did one, we have to do the other. And she just went, okay, if we're going to do it, let's hurry up and do it because I'm going to chicken out if we don't get this done. And she did it. And it's amazing. She looks so cute.
I'll put a little clip in here at the end.
Oh my gosh. She's so adorable. And Brandon took the kids to school this morning and he said that everybody was like, loving on her and complimenting on her new earrings and saying how pretty she looks. So I'm sure like her head's not even going to be able to get out the door
Her
today.
best friends have their ears pierced, so I know that's why she really wanted it.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. They're done now. I told her she can't take them out for at least 6 weeks, so they're in there.
All right, babe, take us out.
Talk to you later.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye. Send us your questions. We want more questions. You actually make it a lot easier for us to talk about things when we know you are actually wanting to hear the topic we're talking about. So keep hooking us up with those questions and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
It like hurts.
A little bit. It will for a few weeks. Or, well, it shouldn't really hurt after a few days. I'm taking video. How does it feel to have your ears pierced?
It feels a little weird when I first get it done.
It's so crazy to see you with your ears pierced. You look beautiful. You already look so pretty. You
Did
do
I
not-
tell Miss Tina that I cried?
Of course you could tell her that you cried. Crying
No,
normal.
but then she won't give me a ticket.
Yeah, she will. I'll tell her how brave you were. I will tell her how brave you were. You didn't even cry when you got your 4-year-old shots, so this is... I'm very proud of you. You were super brave.